jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch that don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. They shooting in the parking lot, everybody get low. They shooting in the parking lot, they ain't where you wanna go. Now stand by soldier, and let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you. Stand by soldier, and let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you.
What's happening? How we doing, everybody? How we doing? I'm happy to see you guys. I hope you guys are happy to hear from me. It's another one of those shows where I feel like I need to get you guys to focus. You know what I mean? You know, I could get on here and, you know, show my face. And don't think I'm being cowardly. This ain't that. I just want to get you guys to focus and, you know, actually pay attention to what I'm saying tonight, because it's another one of those shows. Heavy topic. You know what I'm saying? Heavy nerve touching. You know what I'm saying? And I just want you guys to buckle up. You know what I'm saying? Buckle up and pay attention. Feel me? So let's go in. Let's begin. All right. Resentment, childbirth resentment. I want to talk about postpartum and how it relates to parental alienation. I think parental alienation is it's not new. It's nothing new. But it's a underobserved phenomenon. And I call it a phenomenon simply because it's so underobserved. You know, it's very pattern-like. It does show up in particular types of women, regardless of the social class, the socioeconomic class. You know, and it's very much a thing. It's very much a thing. In this modern day, you know, I think we're kind of shedding the skin of feminism. You know, and all the damage that it's done over the past 40 to 50 years, however long it's just due. And you know, who better to speak on it than the ratchetologist? Who better to speak on it? And so yeah, enough is enough, and you know, we need to lift the wool over our eyes, and a lot of that has been done. I can speak to this firsthand as well as secondhand, but mainly firsthand. And you know, you see it all across the internet. I think the real setback that men or fathers may have is that speaking up is looked upon as weak. You know, I think we need, in this decline of feminism, and the shedding of feminism, and this return to masculinity, or I should say, not the return to masculinity, but a return to balance, or a return to gender balance, because it got out of hand. It got out of hand. In 2024, it was getting out of hand. It was getting a little ridiculous. You know, the left was going crazy. And they ruined it for the Democrats. But that's another conversation. But in this age of gender balance and gender restoration, that's what I want to call it. You know, we had the gender war, whatever that was. You know what I mean? And the only reason it was considered a war is because the women kept fighting. It was like they were just completely, ridiculously obtuse. You know, just being contrarian for the sake of being for the sake of argument and for the sake of being right. They didn't care about, making sense. But that's another conversation as well. We will not digress. We will not digress. However, yes. So, but in this age of gender balance, and gender restoration, we need to identify these diseases within our community, and I do believe parental alienation. And in my opinion, I think postpartum is a disease. if you ask me, in my personal opinion, I think postpartum is a disease. So let alone, just all the things that women go through during pregnancy, but the hormonal changes and all of that. Like postpartum, like should be, no. I don't know what to say to it, but I just know the postpartum. That's it. Yeah, that's it. There you go. End the show. Show's over. We're done. But yeah. So I did some researching, and I have 10 talking points, 10 reasons that a woman would have a child and then turn around and hate the man that she had a child with. When you listen to it, when you hear that statement on its face, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. How do you have a child? How do you lay down with someone, let them nut in you, and then turn around and hate them? Like, wait a minute. That's a little bit backwards, ain't it? Isn't it backwards? Ain't you supposed to hate them first and then like not let them? Okay. Anyway, we won't touch that. Actually, we are going to touch that tonight. We are going to touch that. So the 10 reasons why a woman would have a child with a man and then turn around and hate him. Number one, and I think these are so hard hitting, you could almost end the show on every one of these topics. This how crazy this is. Number one, the relationship was never secure to begin with. Ooh. Some women have a baby with a man they were never truly bonded to emotionally, psychologically, or romantically. The child was desired, the man wasn't. Once the baby is born, the temporary bond, quote unquote, dissolves and the real sentiment surfaces. My God. The real sentiment surfaces. So she basically takes the mask off. She takes the mask off and shows her true colors. That's sick. That's sick. So let me get to the next one. I think that one's kind of self-explanatory. It speaks for itself. Number 2, she expected motherhood to change the relationship, and it didn't. Ooh. Wow. I think this is a thing that's all too common. You know what I mean? And it's because it's so common, but yet no woman will ever be the first or the last. Like that's the sad part. That's the sad part. Because it's like you've heard the stories, you've seen it time and time again, but you just think that this will be different. And when it comes to quote unquote love And there's actual a neurochemical science to people falling in love and what it does to their brain and their decision making. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real. But for you to think, oh no, not me, not him, not us, we're different. It's just another one bites the dust. 777. Quote, a common dynamic. I have his child, now he'll love me, commit to me, or change for me. And then I think women, they do understand how much having a baby changes things. I think they understand that much. Having a baby will change the relationship, but it won't make him commit. It won't make him change for you. He'll change for the baby. That's if he'll change for the baby, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to change him for you. It's not going to make him want to be with you, make him want to commit to you. It just change, and it changes you more than anything. It changes you. Yeah, it changes you more than anything, but it doesn't necessarily change the relationship. It may change the relationship between you and him because now y'all have a responsibility between each other. You know what I mean? I tell people in relationships or people contemplating relationships, having a baby changes the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And most times it changes it for the worse. Majority of the time. I'm sorry to say it. And I mean, if anything, that's what kills relationships really, is change. And what's the only constant? Change. I know, it sucks. But yeah, having a child, to think that that's going to make, yeah, I mean, now he has to deal with you more often. I mean, and that's only if he decides to not be a deadbeat. And at the end of when I get to number 10, I want to talk about whatchamacallit. I want to talk about how women treat deadbeats as opposed to good fathers. That's another topic I want to get into. I might need a whole nother show for that one. You know what I'm saying? So she expected motherhood to change. Number 2, she expected motherhood to change the relationship, and it didn't. When that fantasy collapses, resentment fills the gap. Ooh. Number three. What would make a woman have a child with a man and then turn around and hate him? Postpartum emotions, depression, or trauma. This is a nasty one. Postpartum rage is real. Hormonal changes, stress, sleep deprivation, or untreated depression can twist how she views the father. For some women, the resentment that forms in that period never resets. Now, like I said, my personal opinion, my non-qualified personal opinion, and just an opinion, not fact. I think that postpartum depression is a disease. You know, I don't think there's no pill for it. There's no cure for it. But you know what I mean. The fact that, but reason I call it a disease, in my opinion, is because if it was never, I don't care what your hormones are going through. If it was never in you, you would never say it. If it was never, if that thought or that emotion was never in you in the first place, it wouldn't come to the surface like that. It wouldn't take a hormonal imbalance to make you say the things that you said or do the things that you're doing. That's your true self. That ain't no hormone imbalance. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I don't pardon it. No, that's not what we're doing. I refuse to believe that you have a license to disrespect me or to fight me simply because of your hormonal imbalance. Fuck that. No. You know what I mean? That's complete and utter bullshit. That's why I think, in my personal opinion, it's a disease. So yeah, postpartum. Yeah, fuck postpartum. No. Fuck postpartum. Number 4, she felt abandoned, unsupported, or judged at a vulnerable time. Now that's okay. That right there, I give him that. I give him that. I could, under those circumstances, I could see why you would have a child with a man and turn around and hate him. You know what I'm saying? One thing I've learned about women over the decades is that it's in a woman's hardwired cave woman nature to seek security, being as that they're the more feeble gender between the two genders, you know, just physically. So they have to approach life with a more survivalistic mindset, whereas a man is more opportunistic. That's why a man is willing to struggle and go broke in order to become rich. You know what I mean? Whereas a woman will just play it safe, you know? So because a woman is naturally built and hardwired to seek security, you know, she's always looking for the strongest, the smartest, the best man, you know what I mean? So she could have, so that he can protect her and provide for her, and she can bear his children, right? And that's how the species survives. That's how the species does its thing, pretty much. And so, you know, in the advent of her being pregnant, she feels abandoned, supported, or judged. Obviously, that's a direct attack to her hardwiring, to her firmware, to her security firmware. You know what I mean? So I give grace to. I can understand that. That makes sense. I give him that. So why would a woman have a child and have a child with a man and turn around and hate him? Number 4, she felt abandoned, unsupported, or judged at a vulnerable time. I get that. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Number 5, why would a woman have a child with a man and turn around and hate him? She tied her identity to control. Ooh. When a woman has spent years running the house, running the child, and running the narrative, that's a big one, running the narrative, because who's a better narrator than a woman? Who's a better narrator than a woman? And so yeah, I think that's a real key KPI. That's a real KPI when it comes to women running a narrative. They take narratives and become track stars. So when a woman has spent years running the house, running the child, and running the narrative, and begins to lose control, especially to a father who steps up, and I think this is key. This is what I want to talk about at the end of the show. Especially to a father who steps up, can feel like a threat. She doesn't care she doesn't care about the fact that he steps up and wants to be a father. She cares nothing for that. That's the sad part. Hatred becomes a defense mechanism to maintain dominance. Wow. Especially in court battles. Yep. There you have it. The court that's their playground. That's why I tell fellas, yo, get familiar with the system. Get familiar with going up to those houses, to those courtrooms, and like get familiar with the system. You know what I'm saying? Make lawyers your friends. Talk to them. Pick their brains. Do research. You know what I'm saying? Go to law libraries. You know, shout out to Alicia Shari on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in. I tell fellas all the time, you know what I mean? Be just as quick to run up to those courthouses as they are. I'm telling you. Be just as quick. You know what I mean? It's their job to help you. It's their job to help you file whatever paperwork you need to file, and you know, whatever you know, and they want your business. They want your business. The lawyers want your business. The court clerks want your business. You know what I'm saying, fellas? Get familiar with the court system, because yeah, like that's their playground. So yeah, so number 5, what would make a woman have a child with a man and turn around and hate him? She tied her identity to control. Number 6, what would make a woman have a child with a man and turn around and hate him? Number 6, guilt and shame get projected outward. Ooh, this is a nasty one. I remember taking a course some years ago, and they talked about shame is the strongest emotion. Shame is the most impactful. I wouldn't say the strongest, but the most impactful emotion on a person's psychology. You know, you can feel joy and happiness, you know what I mean? But it doesn't stick to you. It doesn't trigger you the way shame does. Shame and guilt, you know. And the reason being, once again, our caveman brain is wired for survival, right? And so, you know, negative. We pay more. We're naturally inclined to pay more attention to negative emotions because that's how we survive, you know. So yes, so number 6, guilt and shame are projected outward. If she knows deep down she isn't providing structure or stability, that guilt turns into blame. Ooh, nasty. Nasty. It's easier to paint the father as the enemy than confront her own shortcomings. You hearing it from the ratchetologist himself. You hearing it. This is nasty work, and I think this is what really creates the subversive and insidious female narcissism. You know what I'm saying? This is what creates that element when they blame you for things that they do. Nasty work, or they they rally the troops. They get everybody who knows you and everybody who loves you and is friends to you to turn against you. Nasty work, disgusting, very, very disgusting, and they're basically projecting their guilt and shame outwards. So what would make a woman turn around, have a child with a man, and then turn around and hate him? Guilt and shame projected outward. That's number 6. Number 7, she never healed from her own past. That's something. Unresolved trauma, abandonment wounds, or dysfunctional relationships with male figures can cause her to react to you as if you're someone from her past. She's making you pay for everybody else. Terrible. And now these things have nothing to do with gender. This is just this is being human. You know what I'm saying? Being human and dealing, unresolved trauma, abandonment, dysfunction. These things stem from childhood. This is a human issue from childhood. And a lot of times, and the thing with unresolved trauma, abandonment wounds, and dysfunction, a lot of times people with these kind of issues, I talked about earlier, thinking that the baby is going to change the relationship. A lot of times they think the baby is going to heal those wounds. They think having a baby is going to heal their unresolved trauma. Having a baby is going to heal the abandonment wounds, and having a baby is going to heal the dysfunctional relationships. And I would say it makes it worse, but I wouldn't put it as making it worse. I put it more so as magnifying it. You know what I'm saying? It's just bringing it more to the surface. It's making it more. It's exposing it a lot more. You know what I mean? That having a baby can do those things, and this is why you'll see these women these single mothers in the projects having multiple kids with multiple men, because they're not having kids, they're having a baby. They're in love with the idea of having a baby. You know what I'm saying? Because that child grows up and then they care nothing for that child. It just is what it is. Because they have all of these unresolved traumas, abandonment wounds, and dysfunction. I did a show on abandonment some years ago too. Abandonment goes deeper than what we think. Because remember, I talked about the human caveman within us all. You know what I mean? And how that inner caveman handles negative emotions. And abandonment really runs deep. I'm talking about when it comes to food, and it's something as simple as food. There's abandonment issues with food. Like I'm not. That's let me not digress. So what would make a woman have a child with a man and then turn around and hate him? Number 8, custody pressure brings out the worst in people. This is another one. Once court is involved, many parents default to attack mode. Hostility often spikes when a parent feels they're losing power. Jay-Z said it best. I don't know if he got it from somewhere, but he quoted it. You know what I mean? Nobody wins when the family feuds. Nobody wins when the family feuds. And it's natural for you to want to go into attack mode in a court situation. I mean, look how the courts is set up. They got you sitting on one side and then them sitting on the other side. Like, come on. It's already an adversarial type situation. You know? So, you know, so in that respect, yeah, it's natural. It's natural for you to want to be in attack mode, but you have to always stay grounded and bring yourself back to earth, and and tell yourself this is about the child. And if the other parent, especially the woman, because you know, I said it before, you know, so a lot of times they don't give a fuck about the child. They give a fuck about the baby, but they don't give a fuck about the child. They don't care about their future. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And so they just stay in attack. You could go into attack mode. You're human, but to stay in attack mode shows that you don't give a fuck about the child. You know what I mean? And so it's really not about power. It's really not about power, because y'all had this kid together. Why the fuck are you fighting him? You know what I'm saying? Why are you fighting for power? Like what power over what? Power over your ego? That's really what this is about. Your ego. You know what I'm saying? And so you just proven that you really don't deserve the child. Like, it just is what it is. No. So what would make a woman have a child with a man and then turn around and hate him? Number 9. You became the mirror that exposed her lifestyle. You as in the dad. The father became the mirror that exposed her lifestyle. Here's where we go. Let me drop the bomb on this one. This is about to hit hard. Structure. Well, I ain't gonna say it. Let's go. Structure exposes chaos. A stable routine exposes neglect. A present father exposes absentee parenting. Some people hate the person who unintentionally reveals their flaws. A stable routine, a present father exposes absentee parenting. A stable routine exposes neglect. Structure exposes chaos. That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but like, because it's so real. It's so real. It's like, it's easy to be bad. I remember saying this in my 20s. It's easy to be bad, but it's hard to be good. You know, I mean, and like the in my talking points I said earlier, when a woman has spent years running the house, running the child, and running the narrative, you know, there's nobody to check her. That's really what it's about. Nobody to check her. That's why a lot of these single mothers like being single mothers, because there's nobody there to check them. There's no man present to check them. They like that. They like to run rampant. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, they want to have the baby, but then turn on the man, because it's like, I've been running this all along. Who are you to, you know what I'm saying? They bucking their chest at the man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like another nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because a man structure exposes chaos. A man provides structure. You talk about you want a provider? There goes your provision. Structure. Boom. A man provides a stable routine exposes neglect. A man provides a stable routine. A present father exposes absentee parenting. You know what I'm saying? These women get away with these, especially the single mothers with multiple kids by multiple men. They get away with their parenting simply because you would think, well, the child lives with them, the child's in the house with them, right? So they can't possibly be absentee parenting, but they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said it earlier. They don't care about the child. They care about their ego. So yes, the child can be with them and live with them and they be absent. It's very, very possible. Some people hate the person who unintentionally reveals their flaws. And that's another symptom of female narcissism right there. It's an ugly topic. I know. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I know. I get it. It's not pretty, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be aired out. So, what would make a woman have a child with a man and turn around and hate him? Number 10, you pull the child into a different standard of living. This is a good one. This is a good one. When you took your child into a world of rules, routine, cooked meals, curfews, and accountability, the mother became confronted with the fact that she didn't provide those things. People often hate the person who raises the bar they can't reach. So people hate the person who unintentionally reveals their flaws, and they also hate the person who raises the bar that they can't reach. Nasty work. Here's the truth. A woman doesn't have to hate the man she had a baby with. But if she, one, lacked emotional attachment, felt threatened, felt exposed, felt guilty, or lost control, that hate becomes a convenient, protective narrative. And once again, who are the best narrators? Who are the best storytellers? Right? Who? So in most of these situations, hatred is rarely about the man. It's about power, identity, guilt, control, and once again, the narrative. And so yeah, it's hard to tell who cares about the child. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell who truly cares about the child, because you would think that the one who is most animated, most adamant, most most feverish, and most that person who's the most intense is the one who cares about the child the most. You know what I mean? So matter of fact, let's recap. So why would a woman have a child with a man and turn around and hate him, right? Number 1, the relationship was never secure to begin with. Number 2, she expected motherhood to change the relationship, and it didn't. Number 3, postpartum emotions, depression, or trauma. Number 4, she felt abandoned, unsupported, or judged at a vulnerable time. Number 5, she tied her identity to control. Number 6, guilt and shame get projected outward. Number 7, she never healed from her own past. Number 8, pressure brings out the worst in people. Number 9, you became the mirror that exposed her lifestyle. And number 10, you pull the child into a different standard of living. So yes, you would think that the person who's the most intense and animated and indignant is the one who cares about the child the most. And that's not always the case, because a lot of people care about their egos more than they care about the child. You know what I mean? And so this is why you will have a woman who will lay down and have a child with the man and turn around and hate him, no matter how much sense that does not make. But it makes all the sense in the world to them. So if you in your feelings, if you mad, if you hurt, you know what I mean, we could talk about it. If you want to throw shots, if you want to use, as Kevin Samuels used to call it, sign language, you could talk to God about it. shame, insults, and guilt, and the need to be right. Nah, you can talk to God with that one. I'm not listening. But if you really want to have an honest conversation, you know what I'm saying, and I know those women are out there, you know what I'm saying, we could talk about it, and take the next step towards healing. You know what I'm saying? Take the next step towards healing. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every last one of you for tuning into this multi-million-dollar stream. I'm Kev Prosper, founder and CEO of Prosperity, selling travel and wellness consulting, merchandise, and media that teach people how to master their mindset and live life on their own terms. You are tuned into Love and Money on Prosperity Plus. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App at the top right of your screen, $Prosperity ULLC. Thank you for visiting the website below at prosperunlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next week. Bye.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity LLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3, sci-fi action thriller. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. It's my book on organizational skills. Don't wait till I get rich to buy that book. New Shoes. That's my book on self-esteem, on how to love yourself. Ratchetology. Yes, I'm the ratchetologist. Take my advice. Visit prosperunlimited.com and click travel to book your next vacation.
Do that freaky jam on the beat. Shitty with that butter shit that bone feed. Did you double do that song sing. Flicky with some butter sit that bone sing. If you cheeky cheddar checker, get her own cheese. As a chicken with that head or this bitch that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Let me see you had the wish that with that long.
I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity ULL.